Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. We're back in the 3.5 Monster Manual, and we are on the Purple Worm. We're on part 2 of the Purple Worm. We started making our basic form yesterday, and we're going to continue on today. Here's where we left off. So let's get back into it. And we're just going to continue what we were doing, which seems like a year ago today. A lot of people in the professional fields play silly games. You got to watch who you trust. You got to watch what you say. Now, I've been very careful to keep myself out of bad situations because I've had some situations where I've said the wrong thing. And yesterday, someone said something, or today, I'm sorry, said something, and there might be some ramifications for what was said, and I'm not sure exactly what was said. But I'm sure tomorrow or the next day I'll be, aware of what happened more so. It was kind of at the end of the day, there was some frustration and something was said at some point. I don't know what. I really don't. But people, especially salespeople, who want to be liked and want to make money and have agendas, are generally not to be trusted. And if you're a salesperson and I'm wrong about you, that's fine. And I am, I do know salespeople that are really good, stand-up, awesome people. One of the guys that we were working with this week was phenomenal, trustworthy, good, would never do anything to drag you down to make himself look good. He would only ever, I think he's the kind of guy that even if it wouldn't be the best for him financially, he would just be like, hey, this is probably not ideal for your situation. He seemed like, like a pretty stand-up dude. But I do warn you, many of these guys are not on your team. They are on their team. They are on the team of making money for their family, and honesty is not a prerequisite of selling things. So I would warn you, if like a vendor comes in to sell you a chemical, he is coming in with a version of the product that he thinks is going to do best in the situation that he's coming to prove, and he is going to come in with dosages, and he's not going to always have every answer for every question you ask, and if he does, he might not always be honest about that. It's just an unfortunate thing. They want to sell a product, you have money. Now, you can always get people like me to come and be a second set of eyes and talk about what's really happening and talk about the chemical process and, give you some indicators as to what's going on versus what they're telling you, and that's a good thing to do. But, it costs a lot of money to bring somebody like me in. It really does, like a lot of money. So unless we're already contracted your company and you're getting us as a free service, bringing old Doom out to your site, probably not financially wise. Did I do wrong here again? Yeah, you have to start up here and work your way back. Okay, no problem. We'll do that. We'll cut these a little shorter and wrap them around. The only reason I bring this up is because no matter what industry you're in, remember, salespeople are here to make money. And I'm here to make money too. And not on YouTube. On YouTube, I'm here to do my fun stuff with you guys. But I'm just talking about in general. So look at who's got horses in the race when you're deciding who you're going to listen to about financial decisions or product decisions. Generally, people that don't have a horse in the race are the people that tend to be more honest. If you have a contractor who makes their money off of supplying manpower and support versus a contractor who's trying to sell you an item, kind of keep that in mind. Honesty. Look, it looks like I was writing in Arab. But anyways, I was not writing in Arab. I was just making scribbles. But if you know anything about Arab, that was pretty, looked like I knew what I was doing and was writing nicely. Honesty has become a big problem in a lot of workplaces. Even employees and employers not being honest to each other. For the people that work for me in my group, I will not lie to them. I am not, I'm a company man. I love my company, but I am not a tool of the company to come spread disinformation. And I think my management, the people above me, know that I'm not their guy for that. But I see this all too often. There are some really common low-level management mistakes that are made. And if you want to be a leader, let me give you the best advice on earth. If you want to be a leader, 1, lead by example. 2, know your limits. 3, realize that sometimes your insubordinates and people, even with less education than you, might have better answers than you. That little degree is not an automatic ticket to success. I will tell you that. That little degree, if anything else, can be a hindrance towards someone bringing you on for a team. I'll tell you why. You generally tend to be expected more because you have to be paid more because you have a degree. Well, in some industries, your degree isn't worth a damn. For example, you might be a chemist, and that is a valuable education set. But if you work into a field where experience is more valuable than that 4-year degree, well, be prepared to be shocked by some of the things that people are going to say to you. Because you've used lime in a lab under perfect conditions with a professor holding your hand, or you've used whatever specific reaction you've been trained to understand and see how it works. And when you get out into the real world, people are going to be like, what about this? What about this? What about this? So if you're coming to me and you're saying, hey, Doom, I just finished, I'm a 2-year mechanical engineer. I want to do this and this and this. This is what I want to make. I'm going to say, well, you don't have practical experience, so here's what I can do. I can put you on a site as an operator and let you get some time to see all the things that you talked about and practice at different levels. I can move you around to a couple different sites and give you some exposure. And then we can come back and talk about the magic numbers that you thought were interesting. And we can work from there. That's what I'm going to say. Because you're not bringing anything to the table that I don't already have access to, either through myself or through somebody else. But a lot of these, and not a lot, but some of these younger people that are coming in really, really, really miss the mark on what's valuable. Because somebody lied to you and told you you needed a degree to be successful. I know, because I was told the same thing. This is not a new lie that just started. This is a lie we've been perpetuating for a long time. If you're not going to be a doctor or a lawyer or something that really, really requires a specific degree to be successful in it, maybe companies that are looking for degrees to hire people and promote people aren't where you should be going. Because a lot of times you're going to see young people that are not qualified to do a job, that think they know everything and think they're very, very smart. But smart is not a measure of how capable you are. Smart's just a measure of how well you can process and apply information. It's not like D&D where your intelligence score rules. No, you need to be able to apply that too, and that's where wisdom comes in, experience and wisdom. So you're not playing a role-playing game. In real life, everything's multifaceted. There's a charisma component to this as well, if you're thinking about like role-playing terms. So just want to put that out there. My generation was told, hey, you guys got to go out and get a degree, man, or you can't work. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. The time I spent going to school twice to learn two different skill sets, I wish I had spent working harder, because I have found that I have been rewarded for work of faith, like working in good faith, knowing that I will someday be rewarded and noticed for what I do, and from accepting the fact that you have to pay your dues. Paying your dues is an important part of the modern workforce, and it always will be. It was when I was young. It is when I'm older now. Don't think anybody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Your degree, your past experiences, nothing creates entitlement. Don't judge people for their shortcomings in your workplace. Try to find out why they did what they did instead of judging them for it. Because sometimes their thought process might not have been far off from something successful. And young people do have good ideas. So when you hear me talking about young people with degrees, I'm not saying to bash these people. I'm saying to audit them for sure. Take the time to figure out what they're about and what they're trying to accomplish. Figure out what their motivations are. Now, I also see people that don't want to move up. This is weird to me. You would be happy making, this is your salary cap based off of a percentage of what you're going to get in a raise every year. You are not willing to take on more responsibility and move forward. That is a very concerning trait I'm seeing in younger people, and it's not all younger people, but it is a good bit of younger people. I would recommend, if you're a young person, be willing to jump in and do anything that you're asked to do. Be willing to get dirty. Be willing to spend that extra time, even at the expense of sacrificing personal freedom. For example, if there's a job that has on-call capabilities, these are the kind of jobs where if you take those jobs and you do well, these are the kind of jobs that create opportunities. Because being willing to accept responsibility and make sacrifices are the keystones to an employee who could potentially become a leader. And this is not like stuff that I'm just saying as doom. Like, this is just like the reality of like the world now. We have too many people that want something or think that something is coming to them because it should. But we don't have a lot of people who are in good faith making sacrifices for the greater good of our organizations. Now, again, exceptions to every rule. And I will say a lot of colleagues of mine and stuff think that it's a male and female thing too. But I would dispute that heavily. 25% of my workforce at one site alone, is female. She may not be the best operator there. She is obviously, like, if you know the situation, she's the least experienced operator there. She is more driven to become the best and to become the most proficient and the most successful than any of the other three. So even though they have tons of experience on her, her intent is to be phenomenal. That's what she wants. She wants to be good. She wants to be the best one. She wants to be recognized as the best one, and she's willing to do what has to be done to get there. She is at work on time. She's at work every day. She calls off very little, and she is not afraid to ask questions or ask for additional resources to know more about what's going on. And I'll tell you what, guys, to say that it's a male versus female situation, yes, statistically that may prove to be true, but in reality, there are exceptions to every rule. I hear a lot of people like trying to turn like discussions about work into political things. Well, it's really, politics is not the same. Though there is a correlation, and you will see some of the same things that go back and forth, like when your job's trying to push specific agendas on you because they want social credits and stuff like that. But there's a way to live in that world without caving into that world. The first rule is this: respect and care about people. When I say respect, I don't mean bow down to them like they're your superior. I mean respect them. Listen to what they say. Don't interrupt when they talk to you. Give them the opportunity to get their thoughts out. Listen to them. Really listen to them. I think that you'll find that this is a very good approach if you're trying to seek success and you're moving forward and you want to be what we call a professional. I think that's the way to go. Let's look at a picture of this thing real quick. Reference art. All right, so the top of it comes out and it has teeth there. There's some teeth there. There's some little side things with teeth, and then there's some teeth on the sides. So let's see how we can make that work. So, I threw something on the ground. I can't figure out what it is. It's gone forever now. Oh, shit. Oh, well, game over on that. So let's get a little row of cardstock here. And let's try to build some teeth on this. So what we'll do is we will cut this a little shorter. And we will fold this in half. And we will kind of see in what shape that needs to come up. And then we want to take that little spike off the front and round that off a little bit. And then let's get our teeth plate glued in. Let's get this on here first. All right, so we need to adjust some stuff real quick. We need to bring that down and out, just like that. Okay, let's get that on there. Okay, and I think that's pretty sturdy at that point. And let's get our teeth thing and dry fit it. So we know it's going to fit kind of in there and plastered at an angle to hold teeth. We're going to make it a little shorter. Okay, and we're going to mount some teeth to it. So for our teeth, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get these guys here, a little caterpillar guy, or a centipede guy. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mouthpiece that's going to bracket in. I'm going to turn it this way, actually, so we get a better bond. And then I'm just going to glue these teeth onto that board. Like that. Okay. And then that's going to give us a place where we have something kind of sturdy to work with to hold in place, because trying to glue these teeth individually is going to be a nightmare. I'm just going to use this technique to get our teeth situated how we want them. We don't want them all to be the same length, and we don't want them all to be perfect. So, you know, try to be spontaneous about it. Try not to make... this guy's not been to the dentist, I promise. There's no purple worm dentist running around in my world. If there's one in your world, well, you guys must have amazing health care. Now, oh, I dropped it. There we go. Use this one. Oh, drop that one too. Come on, you bastard. There we go. Oops. All right, let's let that cool down, and then we can kind of work on getting that into place. Now, for the bottom teeth, is it wiser to build a big ridge like that? I just don't know. But what I do know is we have to do something to get a mouthpiece going. So we want something that's going to kind of come up and come over that a little bit, but we don't want it to be overwhelming or to become too prominent to where it overshadows the top jaw. So we'll come there. We'll start with something like that. And we'll create just kind of something we can, there we go. Let's look at that from the side so you guys can kind of see what I'm trying to capture. Something like that, okay? It's like a Feed Me Seymour looking deal. So, yeah, again, I don't really, like I said, it was an end of the day kind of thing. I don't know exactly what was said, but people have agendas. And people, even if you're in earnest trying to help them, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh, we're not even talking about that anymore. It doesn't matter. I don't know anything. I'm just a guy in my basement. Don't listen to me. All right. So for the bottom teeth, I guess we will have to... there's those two flaps that come up on the sides. What we will do for that is we will just get a piece, we will fold it in half, and we will generate two such pieces at the same time that are going to be vaguely the same shape. We will glue them on the inside of the mouth on either side. Kind of completing that. And we need to open that up more somehow. I don't know if we can. All right, let's cut these down a little more. Can we possibly shove those in there? Yes, we can. Okay. So let's get those in there and force them in place. Open that up a little bit. Get them in with a dab of glue in the corner of it. Okay. There we go. There we go. So to make sure that seam's not weak, we're just going to kind of get that glue cleaned up and get a little bit inside there, just like that, just to give it a little bit of connection, and then work the excess glue around to kind of clean up some of those weird spots. Okay. All right. Now, let's see what we can do with this. This is the minor burning hand spell. And we can kind of create some rough looking areas with that. And we can also kind of clean up some of these squared off areas with that a little bit. Okay. Okay. Now we need to make sure everything's sturdy. And there should be some rows on the sides coming off him that stick out some. But I think since we cut this off kind of smooth with the razor, we can leave it like that and make it look okay. So let's try to figure out what we can do about this base here. Now this is just a piece of cardboard, and that's not ideal, nor will it be substantial in the long run. Cool. All right, nice. This is just the bottom of a baking pan. It's cool and it's metal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a rough ring with my glue around this. To get rid of that cardboard corrugated edge. Okay. I'm going to work it up in a couple little layers. Nice. I'm going to turn it and get back on this side now. All right. We need to add some stone and some rock and stuff on here too, and this is a good time to do that. So what I'm going to do is I have some dirt here with different layers and different textures, but I'm not going to start with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some bigger rocks, and I'm going to get some pieces of cork. Let me grab that real quick. Now, Dave O'Gara on Miniature Mashup, from what I know, is the master of using cork to make stone. I am not. So we're just going to do the best we can do here. And we're just going to grab our stone. So to make our rocks, our bigger ones, that are the biggest ones we're going to have, what we want to do is we'll use the flat part down here probably to glue it to the base. And this would probably be a lot faster to do with your fingernails, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't have a lot of hand strength this evening, and I don't foresee me being able to do this as easy as I could on a good day. So I'm just ripping this cork apart. I can try it with my hands. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get a hold of stuff. Yeah, I can get a little bit. So I'm just ripping cork up. Yeah, I can't do, I'm sorry guys. I would ideally like to do it with my hands. It'd be faster than trying to do it with this needle nose pliers, but okay. Then once you don't have any smooth spots left, you have kind of an okay looking rock. What we want to do is we want to build like the biggest rocks that are kind of coming out of where he's coming out of the ground first. So I'm just, like I said, shredding up a cork. Oops. And you can do this in different layers. I'm not having a lot of luck with mine, if we're being honest. Here we go. So. The cheaper the cork is, the easier it is to work with too. These corks seem to be a little nicer and sturdier than the cheap stuff, and this isn't it's because I got these from like I literally bought like a bag of used corks from a thrift shop, and that's probably not where you're going to get the best old beat up horrible corks, or the cheapest ones. Okay, because of my hand, I'm sorry it hurts. I'm just not going to be able to continue doing the corks. I'm going to switch to stones. I do have real stones though. And these will add some weight too, which is also kind of good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pile these around to represent what I want it to look like, which is like rocks bursting outward as this thing's coming out of the ground. I'm going to try to move this around so you can see that, how I have these kind of going. And what I'm going to do is, before I move this so I don't get those all over the place, I'm just going to get some super glue and kind of get all this stuff mounted in, just with little dabs and touches to get everything kind of saturated how I want it to go, to stick to the bases and stuff. You can see I have some on the back side here. It's not super easy to see them. And because of the way I have this hot glued down right now, I can't really make an effort to move those. So we'll move the camera, I think, to see those in a moment. But for now, let's make sure we have everything kind of where we want it to sit. And then we'll worry about prying that up. So I'm going to use my biggest chunks of dirt here first and pour those around to kind of get in those cracks and fill up and absorb some glue and sturdy things up. And I hope that's going to do a sufficient job, but I don't know. I just don't know. Alright, so what I've done is I've just sprinkled glue around and then put rocks where I wanted them to sit and then sprinkled dirt on top of that. And I don't know how good of a job that did. I'm not going to tell you it's great because I just don't know. But let's see if we can't get this up off of here. Let's see how well we did. Not great, huh? Okay, so let's get those rocks and try again, because we need that. That's an important part of this, being sturdy and being heavy enough to protect. So let's get these back up here. And maybe the smart thing would have been to, instead of use dirt, to do that right off the bat would have been to use baking soda. So let's come back in and try it again, this time with baking soda. and see if we can't get a better result. So this will be heavy and sturdy. Okay. So I'm going to get my baking soda, or my super glue. I'm going to re-glue these rocks. So that everything stays where I want it. Okay. And we'll get our spoon and use baking soda. I think we'll get a better, stronger, sturdier result. All right, we lost one rock. It's not the worst. Could be way worse than that. We'll pop that rock back there, and there's enough baking soda there that 1 squirt of glue should make this its permanent home. Okay. Now my baking soda is dirty, and that's not good. Alright, from this point on, this is going to be pretty easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some clear glue. Maybe, if I can find my clear glue. Hello, clear glue. Alright. We're going to get some white glue. Well, I thought I had some other Mod Podge over there, but I don't. So we're going to use this clear Mod Podge, or gloss Mod Podge. I don't think it'll really hurt our cause too much. We're going to get a crappy brush, if I can find one. Something that's, ruined from possibly using it in the wrong application. We're going to get in here. We're going to coat the rest of this cardboard up the best we can. Try to get into the cracks. And it's important that we get some over that seam where the where the hot glue meets the cardboard. That's going to be important. Okay, and once you got that all kind of locked in there and how you want it, we're going to get our spoon. We're going to get some of this finer dirt that's ground up real nice that was in the mortar and pestle. We're just going to dabble that on there like that. Just in those spots where we need a little bit. Okay. Nice. Let's shake this thing off. Okay. And I think we can base coat this and start painting it. I ended up not putting the teeth in, so we got to do that first. And then we'll call it. Now, again, in the artwork, there were several rows of teeth and spikes in the mouth, but we didn't get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this. I've curved it in my fingers. I'm getting my glue. I'm going to get up in there and put it in place. Something like that. Okay? And that'll be nice and sturdy as it dries. I'm going to pull those down a little bit because I'm not quite happy with where I put them. There we go. Just get this side back. Yeah, something like that. And then you can just get a little glue. If you wanted to sturdy this up even more, get a little glue, drop it in there. Okay. Get a little bit of your baking soda. And now those teeth live there forever. Get a little bit behind there. Sturdy that up even further. So, if you like what I'm doing here, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. The Scorbic and I, the guys that run Dungeon Swag, are just, regular dudes in our basement. We're not bazillionaires or a big corporation. So, if you'd like to come buy some of our miniatures, we'd really love that. We'd like to see if you like our stuff. Come on the Discord. You can get a discount code. You get a free box sent to your house. Otherwise, there's a discount code in the description to go out and buy a box and save 25% immediately. And we'd love to see you there. Come check it out. Please leave comments and all that jazz. I love it. I'm going to put this in front of the fan, and then I'll come back another time and paint it. I'd like to thank everybody for watching so much. Goodbye.